Yo, what's going on, subscribers? What's up, YouTube? So I'm back with another video. So pretty much this one is going to be about workplace harassment. So I was listening to a video the other day, and she was saying how they not trying to let a target individual have a job for too long. They don't want you to get comfortable because then they'll find ways to get rid of you. So pretty much I've been wanting to speak on this for a long time because I've been going different places and getting hired just to prove that they've been doing things for me to stop working, right? So I would go in different places to show that they would hire me, but they would find ways to get rid of me. So pretty much I wasn't a person that really worked a 9 to 5. I always had my own little way of making money. But around the pandemic was when I started getting 9 to 5s. So I had got a warehouse overnight job as a second gig to add on to the job that for my first job. So like I said, I was taking advantage of the situation because I already see what was going on. So I was working there for a good, like, 4 months. The first 2 months was cool, but then the second 2 months after that, they was trying hard because they didn't want me to get into the union. Because after 6 months, you become part of the union. You start paying union dues. So the amount of things they was doing, that's how you know when it's so. See, me, I know because it's too petty. It's too petty to not see that these people is doing things doing workplace harassment to get rid of you. So it's not really hard to see. So they would do little things to discourage me. I unload the trucks overnight, so it's like, how can I be a problem amongst 100 and something plus workers, right? So they'll have little situations they'll complain about. Oh, I ain't stacked the boxes right, or it'd be little petty stuff. One day I came to work and they literally had a dude try to run me over with a bike. I swear, like, the dude was riding down the hill with no brakes, and instead of him being in the street, he's on the sidewalk and trying to run me over just so I won't come to work. Like, that's how crazy it was, right? Then when that didn't work, they had a supervisor that wasn't even my supervisor at the time scream, "What the fuck am I looking at?" And that didn't work. Then they started sending trucks that wasn't even loaded correctly. The trucks that was an OSHA hazard. Like I said, I wasn't complaining because I see that they was doing things. I would just come in prepared like it was a workout. I use that like a 4-hour workout. I used to come in with my waist trainer on, sweat attire, smoothie already made, and just put it in like it was a 4-hour. I was getting paid for 4 hours to work out. And how they let me go was, I took off a day and they had let me go just because of that. They said I didn't call in and whatever the case may be, right? So I got the union involved, and they set up a day where I was supposed to have a meeting to meet with the people, and we were supposed to discuss me coming back to work. And on that day of me supposed to meet them, they called me right when I was on my way there and tell me that the people don't want me back there, so I shouldn't even. He said the people don't even want me back there, so don't even bother to come to the meeting. Which is like, you supposed to be fighting for me if I'm paying union dues, right? So that's when I knew. And in the first job that I had, they did the same thing. They let me go. Like, they let me go first. and then they let me go second. And that's around the time when I just got my studio apartment. Well, I ain't even get it yet. I just was about to sign a lease for it and everything. Then that's when I knew they was doing things to they don't want to see me. For some reason, I don't know what it was about me elevating or even coming out of my situation. I guess they didn't want it to be, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out, right? So they got me out of both jobs. The one I was officially on during the day, they got me out. They said my background or something didn't come back right. But when I had to pay them money to do a background check, and they had called me and told me that my background came back good for me to start work, which was kind of strange, right? So that was even also 6 months too. But I was in the union there too, and that they didn't even bother to help either. So then I just started seeing the pattern. So I said, okay. So I went, I did another warehouse, and I started doing security as a second job. So same thing with the warehouse. They was doing things for me to quit or whatever, and it wasn't working. Then they wound up doing something where I wound up getting injured on a job, which benefited me. Then the security job was with the same company, but it was a third party company that was doing security for the company I was working for. So I was doing that on days that I wasn't working, and they found a way to get me out of that because I was doing the second job. They don't want to see you accumulating money. And like I said, I done overheard somebody that I know saying something about me being financially stable. So that's how I know they want me to be like codependent or whatever the case may be. So that's how I knew it was bigger than what it was, right? So then I started doing security regular as just a regular gig, because I know security is always work for security, right? So I got hired as security guard, and they was doing the same thing there. So like I said, I was doing it to document as proof to show how they don't let you stay that long, right? So you know, they started with a little pettiness about making complaints and stuff like that. You know, that's what they did at the warehouse, the last warehouse I did. You know, they tried to write up a complaint on sexual harassment complaint, all because I asked the girl, can I sit at the lunch table with her? She tell them I was sexually harassing her. They tried to write me up for that. It was just a bunch of pettiness. Then at the security place, they was making a big thing about me wearing earbuds. If I'm on the floor and I'm securing everything, I shouldn't have a problem if I'm working overnight, right? So there was always a complaint. Like I said, I don't sit here and be like, oh yeah, this person this and this person that. You know, I just know that I just see the patterns of every job I go to. I'm always the problem, right? So all right. I wound up getting me a vehicle behind working with them, right? So as soon as I got the vehicle, that's when they started getting worse with the complaints. So one of the supervisors made a complaint talking about I caused her mentally ill.
You said that I'm mental.
I said you're mental?
You said that I'm mental issue. That's what you said. That's why I wrote the report. Listen to me. That's what you said. And I just said it. I wrote the report. Hold on. You can ask all people that were there.
They never heard me say that.
I wrote the report. That's what you said that I'm mental.
Yeah, of course you're going to write it in her report. Yes. But why would I say you have mental issues? I said you're acting like a child. That's what I said.
If you said, no, you didn't say that. If you say that, I will witness the report, because I'm an exact person. And if you say...
Why would I say you have mental issues?
Okay, it's on the phone. You can call the cops down here.
When, like I said, I be doing things just to prove I document as I'm at work, right? So you would hear me saying that she's acting like a child with what she was basically making a complaint about, right? I said, you older than me and you acting like a child. She said, she wrote the statement saying, I called her mentally ill, and everybody that was working with us, all my co-workers said they heard me say it, right? Now, it's a girl that I used to talk to there. We was mad cool, you know, we conversate all the time and just be chilling, right? And she said one time, we was chilling, she was like, yo, you mad cool. She don't know why people be acting a certain way towards me, right? After that day, I haven't seen her since, right? So I'm thinking she was like on vacation or whatever, you know. And then I asked for her, and they told me that the supervisor let her go, like got her transferred to another place because something happened where he didn't want her at that site no more. So I'm like, that's kind of funny because she don't look like she caused any problems or nothing. Like that's how you know they do it to where they don't want nobody they know is gonna be cool around you. They gotta get anybody that's claim they say that you cool or they like your vibe, they getting rid of them. So yeah, pretty much that's, and then they got me out of that job over a certificate situation. Then when I get the certificate, I go back to the company to see about getting back on, and they telling me they have no more room there and they have no more sites available. So that was their little excuse, right? Then I went to another security place and the same thing. You know, this one was more of a, you know, I did certain things just to prove, you know, like they sent me to a site, you know, and they was doing little things. You know how people, they do things to just get under your skin, you know, and one guy that lived in the building gonna pat me and say good boy like I was a dog, right? And that just escalated to me getting frustrated, you know. Then I went to the company and I told them, I said, look, I don't have nothing against the company or the site that you put me at. I just don't feel, I said, I'm coming to you to tell you firsthand before anything escalate, you know, that somebody disrespected me and I didn't appreciate it, you know. And the dude tell me he had the site for 10 years and these people wouldn't do this and that and the third. So I said, okay. So what I did, again, I know they watch it so hard, I fake like I went to sleep on the site, and they sent the supervisor, right? Being I'm already, like I said, I'm already doing this and documenting it as I'm doing this. I already said I'm gonna fake sleep, that way I'm gonna get transferred to another site, right? So they sent a supervisor said he caught me sleeping. I was like, okay. I come to work the next day, they tell me that I can't work there no more because they caught me sleeping. So I go back to the company. The company tell me that they have no more sites available. That's the only site they had available. They let somebody that was there go because they caught him sleeping. So they say, right? So what made me know that it was all lies, because the same guy was there. Like, I came back over there to prove after they let me go from there, the guy that they claimed was sleeping there, he was back there working. So this is how I know that they just did that. But like I said, I did it just to document how they do things as far as work. and workplace harassment. That way you can have a better understanding of what goes on when you're working for a company. So I just don't understand how I can work all these different places and I'm the only one that's causing a problem in every place. And like I said, I always have proof to prove what I'm talking about because, like I said, it can't be me just being a problem everywhere I go. I barely even like to even be noticed for me to be a problem. So, you know, I like to just do my work and go. So it's just funny. I'm always the problem. The last warehouse, like every time we would go on lunch, it seemed like everybody wants to go on lunch with me. Like, if I'm so much of a problem, everybody wants to go as a group to come with me to where I'm going to get lunch at. Or if I'm going outside, or if I stay inside, they stay. It's just weird, like, it's weird, right? So that's how I knew it was some real funny stuff. Like I said, I never was the type to be, I never really had a 9 to 5 of my own. I always used to do my own thing, but it seems like working for somebody, especially with the amount of situations I done already seen in the past, just working for 2 years and going through at least 3 to 4 jobs in 1 year is crazy. So it's like, I don't understand. Like, I mean, now I understand the situation, you know, because they basically don't want to see, like, I remember going to the store and I heard the lady say, I guess hard work do pay off. Like, I don't understand what I think she basically, like I said, I don't know what's going on, or you got me some type of competition or whatever, but it seemed like I made more results by working hard than somebody did, I guess, doing it their way. So I guess she's basically saying she see results with hard work. Which I'm not, like I said, I don't even understand what's really going on. Like I said, it seemed like some type of competition, secret competition that I have no knowledge of. Because even when I was at work, the warehouse, it was like they was putting me to work with people like it was competition. Like people was just having secret competitions with me without my knowledge. But I don't know. But me personally, this is the type of stuff I'll go through as far as working. Then now that I'm not working, it's like now they forcing me to find a job. But it's like, why am I doing that when I already know now? I'm putting my information out there every time I'm getting a job for y'all. And y'all finding a way to get rid of me within 6 months. So basically I'm putting my information in y'all system for y'all to fucking harass me and do all types of stuff. Then y'all let me go. So it's like, why am I wasting my time doing all this interviewing and all that when I already got the whole rundown already? You know, I done tested it out already. I done tested my theory out and I was right. You know, so I'm not gonna be putting myself out there for my information to be put out there anymore. You know, they just want you with a routine so they can harass you the way they want to. Alright, y'all. Tell me what y'all think. Like, share, subscribe. Alright, y'all. Peace.